Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sharp Tongue Podcast. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you so much. More than you could understand. This podcast has definitely kept me afloat. I hope it keeps you afloat during those days where you feel like you're drowning. And if you want to help me out, give us a thumbs up on this video. Click subscribe. Share it with your friends. It really helps us out. Click thumbs up on the video right below. And also rate the podcast wherever you can. If you have an app where it allows you to do that, I know Apple allows you to do that. Just rate the podcast 5 stars. That's all I want. I don't want 4. I don't want 3. I know beggars can't be choosers. I'm just selective and being very particular. I'm being very specific with the universe. So please, 5-star ratings. And don't forget, if you want to call the pod, you can do that. Give us a call. We'll play your voicemail. Ask me a question. Tell me something funny. Give me a suggestion. 513-916-0930. And as always, subscribe to the Patreon for exclusive content and exclusive videos. That's patreon.com/Jessimae Peluso. And come see me live. I'm on the road this fall, starting in October, kicking it off in La Jolla, California, and ending up in Massachusetts. A bunch of East Coast dates, a couple middle of the country dates. I'll be in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm going to be in Las Vegas. Bouncing around a little bit, jessimae.com/tour. And don't forget, any way you guys support me, whether it's tickets to see me live, merchandise, a portion of that will go towards the Alzheimer's Association and Hilarity for Charity. So don't forget to think how great it is to support me because you're supporting a good cause. You're supporting a good cause. I want to talk about the most expensive things in our life. And I did something so dumb. Something so dumb that was the most expensive mistake of my life and the most expensive lesson. But I asked people on Threads and Twitter what is the most expensive thing they've ever purchased. So we're going to talk about that at the end of the show. But before I want to do a Baja Fresh recap, we have our winners. We have a few winners from the giveaway that I did with Baja Fresh. I was bragging about being at Baja Fresh because they brought back the freaking torta, the chicken torta sandwich, which is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. They brought it back and I had to document it. And from documenting it, they reached out to me and told me that they wanted to send me some food and send me to lunch. And I thought that was so great. But then I thought, I get so many things, which I'm going to show you in a second, a couple gifts that were sent to me. I get so many things so often it feels wrong to keep it all. I'm a firm believer in just giving as much as you can. You know, I like to keep some for myself because some of it's cute. Not giving it all away. I'm not crazy. Oh, that feels good. It's like if you don't have a chiropractor, just kind of shake your head back and forth. But we do have a few winners. I chose 3 people to win a free lunch at Baja Fresh. And they sent messages from all over. They emailed me, they DM'd me, some of them called, and I ended up selecting one just because I wanted to, somebody who didn't even necessarily submit themselves for this. But our first winner is Michael Merrick, who emailed me. He sent me an email. We read his email. And we also have Austin Imburgia, who DM'd me, who was going for a job interview. I wonder if you got the job, Austin. Let me know if you got the job. And as always, the one, the only OG fan, Blakey Sherms. Those are our 3 winners. We probably mentioned them before, but I wanted to let those guys know that they will be getting their own Baja Fresh gift card later on this week. And I plan on doing more things like this where when I get stuff sent to me or partnering with different companies, I'm going to be doing giveaways. So don't forget to email me people who you think deserve free shit, who are struggling or maybe you're not even struggling. I don't think you need to be struggling to necessarily deserve something. So somebody who you think deserves a little boost in their life, Jessimae Peluso comedy@gmail.com to get some of that. And speaking of getting some of that, oh God, I love this Spindrift. I got some fun shit. First of all, one of my podcast guests and author, New York Times best-selling author and co-author, is writing. Her workload and her workflow is something to aspire to. She's written so many freaking books. I've read every single one that she sent me. She, I believe they co-authored The Golden Couple, The Wife Between Us, and her solo thriller, Gone Tonight. She just released a new book, House of Glass. Sarah Pekkanen sent me this book. Thank you so much. I'm assuming her assistant sent this to me, and they spelled my name in a new way. Every time my name is spelled in a new way, I have to bring it up. Jessemae Peluso. You know what? It all sounds the same, and it's the thought that counts. So make sure you guys check out House of Glass. I love Sarah Pekkanen's writing. They're page turners. They're fun. Good summer books. And speaking of summer, I was in Kennebunkport, Maine. Had so many lobster rolls. Oh, God, I love a lobster roll. Whoever thought of that sandwich is a genius. A pure genius. Because it's cold, but it's warm. And it's buttery. And I take a bite of a lobster roll. And I don't even know where I'm transported to. I think I'm just right in that moment. It doesn't send me anywhere but the now. It's that delicious. I had a great time in Maine. And I kept walking by this little teeny shop, and I saw this sweatshirt in the window. And I'm trying to be more selective about how I spend my money, my time, my energy. Because as we know, life is expensive. And I talked about in the beginning of the podcast, the most expensive lesson I have ever learned will be at the end. So this whole episode's kind of about the expensive things. And I'm trying to not spend frivolously. It's dumb. Especially coming off of cleaning out my mom's house. Damn. So much stuff that is just unnecessarily piling up and taking up space and causing unnecessary stress because it's just stuff you don't need. So I've been downloading things that I have, getting rid of stuff, purging. I love a good purge. Not like the movie, but like your closet. I love purging. Because then I can go out and buy more stuff, which kind of defeats the purpose. Somebody call Marie Kondo. I need her to come over. Does this bring you joy? Everything brings me joy, Marie. My girlfriend Annie is about to be on her show. And I'm like, well, I think I should go buy more things so I can do that as well. Because I want to experience joy in all senses. I want to be able to buy joy and get rid of joy and feel the joy of creating space. So I was walking by the store in Kennebunkport, Maine, and I saw this sweatshirt. And the sweatshirt was flirting so hard. You ever go shopping and the thing is just flirting with you? You're like, stop. I know you want to be on me, but we can't. It's so bad. I just can't do that. It's not right. And the shoe's like, come on, let me just, you want to slide right inside of me. And you're like, I do really want to slide inside of you so bad. And it would feel so good. And it would be every single day I would slide inside of you. And people would look and be like, oh my God, look at those. They're so cute. But you can't. It's so bad. It's naughty. But sometimes clothes and things just flirt with you. And you're like, I gotta get it. How much is the puppy in the window? It's too much. Put it down, Steph. You can't afford the puppy in the window. Quit buying everything. You can't bring any of that stuff with you in death, so leave it alone. But this sweatshirt just was meant to be with me. And I think because I'm Sicilian, because I'm Italian, it says Capri. I love lemons. It's got little lemons on it, a little ocean scene. It feels kind of retro. It's super soft. And I kept looking. I walked by the store 3 or 4 times. I'm such a weirdo when it comes to things that I want. I can't get it out of my head. And I messaged the girl to see if they still I got home. And I thought about the sweatshirt still. And I was like, is the sweatshirt still there? Because I don't know if I can leave it. I tried to find it online, but there's something about finding something where you are, when you are, where you are, and you want that moment encapsulated in a purchase. The purchase represents time. It represents a moment. It represents a memory. And I think that's why a lot of people attach a lot of emotional attachment to things because they encapsulate a moment in time. And this was a moment in time I wanted to encapsulate. And this store was nice enough to send this to me. I believe her name was Veronica. Let me look this up real quick. I think it was Veronica. No, it's Baja Fresh. She was so sweet to send this to me. It's a little boutique in Kennebunkport, Maine. It's called Benoit Boutique, Benoit. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's in Kennebunkport, Maine. Shout out to them. Thank you so much for sending it to me because now I feel more Italian. I couldn't feel more Italian than having a little shirt that says Capri on it with lemons. Come on. So soft. Isn't it cute? We always say that when we go shopping. Isn't it cute? Well, everything is expensive. I went out to eat. I had breakfast in LA and I had a smoothie some toast, and a coffee, and it cost $50. $50. $50. Where was the fruit flown in from? Fiji? That fruit better have been flown in like an oak case, protected by a tiger and a monkey that both spoke 5 different languages and meditated over the fruit while it got in transport on its way to my smoothie cup. The straw? What's the straw made out of? Dreams? It better be $50 for a smoothie, toast, and coffee. It's unbelievable. I don't know how people survive in the city, and I see people with children. I'm like, how are you doing it? How are you freaking doing it? Because not even the rent's too damn high. The smoothie's too damn high out here. It's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. I had a burger with a side of Brussels sprouts. $40. When was the cow killed? I want to know. The cow had better have been alive that morning. And someone had better read its gave it a final meal, read a poem to it, let it meander in the field. Because this is just, it's too much. It makes me not want to eat out at all, but then it's like convenient. So this is what we're paying for. And so I had to distract myself with other things. I had to distract myself with other thoughts because I was getting frustrated, and I've been frustrated at the cost of things. I know you guys are probably experiencing it as well. When you go to the store, you're like, I know that package of turkey was $9.99 a couple years ago, and now it's $11.99. And I know the size of the turkey package didn't change. Still 8 ounces of turkey. So what are we doing here? And I know there's a bunch of nerds that are like, it's inflation. It's just what happens in the economy. And that's inflation. It'll balance itself out. It feels like a scam. I'm sick of it. I guess this is what it feels like to be an adult when you go through things and you're like, God damn it. How much are bananas? The bananas are how much? So I had to distract myself with goofy things. Probably what this podcast is for you, a goofy distraction. So something I thought about when I was walking yesterday was words that are unnecessarily uppercased. I thought about this because I was writing something out and typing something rather, and I realized that the day of the week is supposed to be uppercase. And I was like, Wednesday? Why are you so fancy? Who do you think you are? And it made me think about words that we uppercase that don't deserve it. This is where my mind went. So I Googled, capitalization of words. Now, we capitalize proper nouns, names of people, places, companies, and trademarks. We capitalize honorary and professional titles, which is questionable. Do we still capitalize Bill Cosby? Because I feel like after you commit a heinous crime, you should lose your capitalization. That's just a thought. Do we still capitalize Harvey Weinstein? Not sure it's deserved anymore. I think we can lowercase that sucker now. Any takers? I don't think we need to capitalize after you commit a crime. I think you lose your capitalization. So sorry. You can capitalize familial relationships. What if your uncle touched you? He still gets an uppercase? Uncle Larry? That guy? Who made my childhood very uncomfortable. This is just, I didn't have an Uncle Larry, luckily. This is all just me talking, hypothetically. But still, that guy gets an uppercase? I think not. So there's a bunch of these days, months, sometimes seasons. I'm okay with seasons because let's be real, fall be falling. Fall deserves it. She comes out. She's a season of change. She represents growth. She's got colors and foliage. Fall comes with accessories, layers. Transformation. Move over, Taylor Swift. There's a new showstopper in town. It's autumn with a capital A. By the way, Taylor Swift, you've lost your uppercase as well because you're annoying. Sorry for the Swifties out there, but autumn's coming through. Capitalize holidays. A holiday. Can you imagine not having enough rent? And here comes Labor Day, full of confidence, with a capital L and a capital D. And you're like, I can't capital P-A-Y my R-E-N-T right now. Who are you stepping in right now? You've got to separate. You've got to celebrate this holiday, Labor Day, and you're working and still can't afford rent? You're working for work and you're broke? But Labor Day showing up, like, where's my respect? It's stressful. These uppercases are very stressful. I'm broken. I have to uppercase Labor Day? I think not. The system's broken. This is me figuring out the system is broken. I went on the actual federal website of holidays. It's the Office of Human Resources Management and the official holidays that we recognize in this country. There's New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, Washington's birthday. I mean, Washington's birthday? Really? You guys want to make fun of women having birthday weekends and birthday months? Here we are celebrating Washington's birthday for 228 years? I think I can have a weekend. Washington's birthday's been celebrated for over 200 years. I think I can celebrate my birthday for a month. I don't want to hear it anymore, fellas. We're continuing this birthday train if we're still celebrating Washington's birthday. So get your dollars ready. We're going to Napa. We're going to Napa Valley for a month. Memorial Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day. All those are uppercased, and rightfully so for most of them, right? But then you got something like French fries. You don't capitalize French fries, though you always capitalize nationalities. This is very confusing to me. And they say because the term is referring to something generic. French fries are totally separate from anything French having to do with the country. I'm not here trying to make France feel good. I'm here trying to make French fries feel good because I think they deserve an uppercase. Bill Cosby, no uppercase. French fries, uppercase. Are we catching on? We have to adjust our priorities as a people. We need to adjust language as a people because certain things are offensive. We don't say certain words anymore because they offend people. Well, guess what? I'm changing the uppercase rules here on this podcast. Who else doesn't deserve an uppercase? P. Diddy, lower P, much lower P, so low of a P. Harvey Weinstein, low H, lower W. Bill Cosby, so low, can't even hear it. What'd you say? Bill Cosby, can't hear you. You don't even have letters in your name anymore. Weekdays? You want me to capitalize weekdays and not spaghetti and meatballs? Are you out of your mind? You want me to respect Sunday and not spaghetti? Guess what people do on Sundays? They have spaghetti and meatballs. Ask my cousin Donnie. She calls it spags and bags. I'm going to capitalize Sunday, but not Sunday pasta and meatballs? Are you out of your mind? You want me to capitalize Sunday and not spaghetti and meatballs? You're crazy. Think twice. It's not happening. My capital S Sicilian cousin Donnie told me spags and bags Sundays, honey. And I'm not uppercasing Sunday anymore because she thinks she's more special than spaghetti. This is where I draw the line. This is where I draw the line. I'm going to uppercase Sunday, but not spaghetti and meatballs. Sorry. Not me. Not now. Not never. Spags and bags all day, baby. Try and come for me Sunday. I'll see you on Wednesday. Lowercase W. Bring Bill Cosby. We'll see who wins the fight. I doubt you will. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. I found this article that was insane. By the way, that you guys already know that uppercase is absolutely not. We threw it in the absolutely not category without even having to say it. Some things are best left unsaid. So we don't need to reiterate what's going on. I found this article that is absurd as much as it is genius. Operating theaters, bowling alleys, and home cinemas not happy with safe rooms. The super rich are building luxury fortresses. And I thought about this, like, is the apocalypse really going to happen and how safe am I? Let me tell you, in Venice, it's an apocalyptic day every day. So I feel like I get to experience the apocalypse on a minimal scale daily, which prepares me for what's going to come down the road. Mini blows to prepare me for the maximum blow. So it's like slow burn, slow burn, slow burn. I'll be able to handle it. The apocalypse is going to come and I'm just going to be out there in my pajamas, drinking my matcha latte, petting Chaplin on my lap, watching all the chaos ensue. Because I've survived Venice. I survived Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Bring it on. I'm going to be like Kirsten Dunst from Melancholia. Remember that character? If you've never seen that movie, it's Lars Van Trier's depiction of the end of the world. Basically, an apocalyptic event ends existence as we know it. Spoiler alert, total spoiler alert. And she's this character who's got depression, and she's like, bring it on. You're going to bring on the end of the world? I experience the end of the world daily. That's not to say I'm saying I'm a depressed person who feels like I want the world to end. I'm only saying that living in Venice has prepared me for the world to end. Few things appear to soothe the existential anxieties of the super rich like a bunker designed to withstand anything short of a total nuclear Armageddon. Yes, it's no longer enough for the Social Security conscious billionaire to stick an impenetrable safe room in the basement where it might sit happy and empty forever. In today's uber prime properties, bunkers have gone seriously upmarket and high tech, in some cases growing to the extent that the whole homes are becoming 21st century fortresses. This is insane to me, but also it makes sense. If you're super rich and you're bored, you're going to think of dumb shit. And you're going to think, well, the world may end, right? Because you're probably bored all day long and you're getting your news from crazy conspiratorial sources and you're having a fun time thinking about all these things that are going to happen, which would require you to purchase a plethora of accessories. Look, if I had endless funds, I'd probably build a bunker as well. I'd probably build a bunker for each of my dogs. So I'm not poo-pooing this, but it is interesting to see how much money some of these people have. We've seen a lot more of a focus on entertainment, said Al Corby, who has been at the forefront of secure luxury for 50 years as the president and founder of SAFE, strategically armed and fortified environments based in Virginia in the U.S. If you're going to be able to survive underground, we want you to be having fun. Here's the thing. I thought the Armageddon was supposed to be dire, not expensive and luxurious. These people are going to be living it up. Fire's going to be burning outside. There's going to be no more farms. People aren't going to be able to grow food. They're chilling. They don't care. People are dying, crawling around up on the earth while they're down in their bunker, probably watching The Office for the 400th time on a 200 square foot TV. But not even a TV. It's just a projector, and it's perfect. It's not even a projector. It's what do people do when people die and they want to see them in concert? The hologram. They're watching The Office in a hologram. They've become a part of The Office. They probably even have an office in their fucking bunker. Corby, who helped secure a 27-floor private home in Mumbai for the billionaire industrialist Mukesh Ambani, whose son Anant recently made headlines with his lavish wedding celebrations, is currently working on a sprawling house on a 200-acre wooded plot at an undisclosed location in the U.S. His understandably tight-lipped about many aspects of his work. These bunkers are ridiculous. There's photos of it. There's a bowling alley, like a bougie-ass bowling alley. This thing puts that bowling alley in There Will Be Blood to complete despair. That bowling alley is so sad compared to this. The house itself, Corby said in an interview on Zoom, is ultra secure with the blast-proof doors, unbreakable windows, and biometric door entry systems. Then there's the 30-foot deep moat with a swing bridge. The water canyon's capable of taking out helicopters, drones, or skydivers, and the film of flammable liquid that can be automatically deployed across the surface of artificial lake and ignited to create a defensive ring of fire. Well, now it just got more fun. Because here I am thinking it's just this fancy, luxurious existence, but they've got actual survival accessories, I guess we'll call them. Because I thought about this and I thought, how would this even work? If all else fails, would this person really be able to survive? And is this the type of person we want surviving? These rich people with zero survival skills? Is this the type of person who should be furthering the human existence? You know, if there's only a couple people left, do we want these rich people who can't build a fire, but they can buy a fire? They've got a moat of fire, but they don't know how to actually create a fire from scratch. Like, your survival skills involve calling Postmates and talking about catching vibes and how much your energy really changes a room. We want you surviving the apocalypse. This is where I think survival of the fittest needs to step in. This is a loophole in survival of the fittest. Darwin didn't see this shit coming because this sort of breaks Darwinism. Survival of the fittest, yes, unless you're the richest. So now it's survival of the richest. It turns out throwing money at the apocalypse just may work. But that means that we're probably going to be left with a bunch of idiots. Complete rich idiots. We'll call them rich idiots. The word doesn't work. We'll just stick with rich idiots. We're going to be stuck with all these rich idiots who don't know how to do anything, and they're going to procreate. It's already happening. You come to LA, you'll see it. I guess in areas where people are working more skilled trades, you don't see that much. But out here where people are just entertainers and influencers, I'm surprised these people survive in a day-to-day life, let alone an apocalypse. You got to work today? And work was in your car filming yourself doing makeup? How are you not dead? I don't know how people like this aren't dead now. They're going to survive the apocalypse. And then you've got people in Hong Kong who are living in these things that they're calling coffin homes. There's an apartment in Hong Kong, and it's known in Hong Kong that these exist. There's an apartment complex that has 26 coffin homes. And more than 200,000 people in Hong Kong live in coffin homes because the rent is so expensive. You're like, what's a coffin home? It's exactly what it sounds like. These people are so poor. They live in these packed, teeny coffin-sized dwellings on top of other people in coffin-sized dwellings. And it basically, they have less space than an astronaut in those sleep pods. And this is how some people in Hong Kong are living. And they have all their stuff on their bed. Their food's on their bed. And they're all on top of each other. I just think, oh God, what's that smell like? These people are actually living through an apocalypse now. And they're broke. And we've got these billionaires who are planning a theoretical apocalypse and building multi-million-dollar bunkers while these people in Hong Kong are living in coffins. And we think that anything in the world's going to be fixed. Guys, have fun. It's a short ride. The rich be richin' and the poor people are pouring. And I don't know that we're ever going to get those lines a little bit closer. And I do think that the more time we spend on our phones, it seems worse than it really is. We get out in the world, it's not so bad. But then again, you know, we've got this guy Mukesh with his bowling alley and fiery moat for a what if scenario, for a hey, this might happen scenario. And then we've got people in Hong Kong living in shoeboxes with everything on top of them. I couldn't do it. Some of these people said the dark side of Hong Kong is devastating. The full story coming soon. Drew Binsky, I guess, is the guy who posted this. Humans need to stop reproducing. There's obviously not enough space for 8 billion humans. That's clear, but then you get out there and travel and you realize there is a lot of space. We just populate in these areas where it gets condensed and we're living on top of each other, but there is space. I mean, you drive through America, there's a lot of space. And I could be wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But it seems like we don't like to live far away because we're afraid of being alone. And then we end up being poor and living in a freaking coffin. We're not even dead yet. I hope these people, when they die, they just let them die in an open field for their spirits alone. This person said this looks mentally damaging to live in. Literally, India is far better. Man, India's like, hold my beer. We're chilling. Someone said this could be solved with some galvanized square steel and some eco-friendly wood, to be honest. I love when people come in the chat like they've got the Home Depot answer to everything. One person said, if a fire breaks out, how will they vacate the place instantly? So many people in a small space. It's horrifying to imagine it. Another person said, New York City in 5 years. I don't know. One person said, I really don't understand why people need to make children if you cannot build a good life for yourself. It's so easy to say that from the other side, isn't it? Just to judge someone's existence. A lot of people, look, if they can't get out of their head, they're not going to get out of their bed. If they're not going to get out of their bed, they're not going to build a beautiful life. And it's not just that easy. Another person says rent isn't expensive. The problem is people who work and don't get paid enough. And people in the U.S. have the audacity to sit there and with their $1,500 iPhone and say it's too hard. I mean, perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. Here we go. This person says problem is everyone wants to move into big cities. Nothing to do with overpopulation. Stop living in cities and move to villages close to nature. That's a solution. Let's all just live in a hut. What do we need? Do we need all this stuff that we constantly buy? All these things that we're filling our houses with that are making us sad? That's the irony. We get all this stuff and we end up feeling empty. And then once you empty it out, you create more space and you feel more joy. It's so simple and stupid, but it's true. I've experienced it for myself. And then, you think about the cost of things. We're talking about how everything's getting expensive because of inflation. Then there's just things that are just egregious and things that are just outrageously expensive. This is old news, but I still wanted to talk about it. Would you spend $32 on ice cubes? A grocery store's price outrages customers. It tastes like water, one person said. Now, this is something that was in the news months ago. It's about Erewhon, which is a grocery store. And if you say the name backwards, it means nowhere. Oh my God, it's so deep. Do you guys want to go get a $25 smoothie? True story. I took Deb to get a smoothie once and she got mad at me because it was $25. At Erewhon, the price for ice is making some customers freeze in their tracks. The California luxury market is peddling a bag of 8 large frozen spheres for a whopping $32. A price tag that has bewildered shoppers unfamiliar with the ice's purpose. Cocktails. Produced by the brand Penny Pound Ice. The balls, as they're called, are not meant to be used in your Stanley tumbler unless you're fancy like that, and instead are intended to be placed alone in an alcoholic beverage like an old-fashioned or Negroni. My first thought is it's probably annoying. Like, people in Flint, Michigan still aren't getting clean, potable water, and here we are with what is probably more drinkable water than Flint, Michigan will ever see again, and it's for a novelty. And these people are freaking just trying to get clean water, and we're selling it for $8 to Bethany at Erewhon so that her mojito can feel more special. That's been the biggest hurdle, this company said, trying to explain, and I guess in a way to justify the difference in product and the difference in price as well. Gordon Belliver, a Penny Pound partner since 2014, told the editorial, he added, one of my boilerplate analogies is comparing it to a luxury automobile. If you're spending $50, $60, $100 on a bottle of whiskey or mezcal or rum, but you're putting in basic generic ice, it would be the equivalent, in my mind, of getting a Lamborghini and putting in regular unleaded in it. It's not doing any service to the product that you've spent so much money on. Here's the thing. That gas is a scam. So I've been told, and so I've read. There's no fancy gas. You're being sold a lie. The same as there's no fancy ice. Gas is gas, ice is ice. It runs your car, it makes your drinks cold. There's no way to make it fancy. You could make it a little cleaner, sure. You could maybe put it out, let the water sit in the sun and gather up the sun's energy, and then freeze it in a Wim Hof ice bath if that makes you feel better. But ice is ice, no matter which way you cut it. And speaking of that, these people also manufacture ice in various shapes, including miniature spheres called pebbles, diamonds, cubes, pyramid spheres, the blocks that contain thyme and edible orchids, and even gold flakes. They're selling a scam. You can get all that shit at Joan Crafts. Joanne Arts and Crafts. You can go to the Hobby Lobby and make this yourself. Go to a grocery store in the produce department, make it happen. Gold flakes? We're in a recession. You want me to put gold in my drink? I'm going to gather up all those gold flakes into a ball and try and cash that shit in at the bank. Give me the nugget. And I'm not talking about your ice. Time in a piece of ice? Is this a witch's cauldron? I don't need time in the ice. I need time in my life. Okay? I'm not a witch. What is this? Are you kidding me? Casper? Or what was that show with all the hocus pocus? Give me a break. Who cares? Melt it. I want a drink right now. Edible orchids will not be at Coachella, by the way. Edible orchids. If you're eating an orchid, you're an asshole. No one eats orchids. It's for people when they die. Everybody knows that. Give me a break. Time in your ice. Is this Charmed? Somebody call Caroline Ray. Freaking bewitched bullshit ice. A TikTok girl said, it looks like a crystal ball, Lizzie Duchage said in a video, appearing dazzled by the beautiful ice ball and shocking. She was shocked that it didn't melt after 20 minutes of sitting in her kitchen. Yeah, it's called surface area. Okay, ice melts quicker because it's smaller, Lizzie. Read a book. Watch ice melt and you'll understand. It's not fancier. It's not any better. It's just physics. It's science. And this is somebody who barely graduated high school telling you this. I shouldn't downplay myself. I did go to college, but still. At home, your ice tends to be foggy or cloudy due to impurities in tap water, such as calcium, magnesium, as well as many flavors that exist in the freezer that are infused into ice. Yeah, I grew up on dirty ice. We're fine. We're better people for it. It's just called dirty ice. Okay? Regular people have dirty ice. Sure, you want to Brita your ice? Go ahead. Get a little Brita. I do that sometimes. And I have a little water machine if I want some, not faucet ice. That's fine. But there's no way I'm going and spending $32 on 8 cubes and getting tricked into this scam. Don't let people try and trick you and act like what they're doing that's a regular thing is any fancier than what you got at home. Penny pound ice, however, uses constantly agitating water that doesn't allow for impurities to settle, and instead they rise to the top and are removed, leaving a clear 300-pound block of ice that is cut to be the final product. It's funny how this ice company figured out how to clean ice quicker than a state figured out how to clean water. Maybe they should combine efforts. Maybe this company should go to Flint, Michigan and see if they can do something good with this instead of trying to profit off of influencers named Charity in Los Angeles. But I wish them the best. It's an open market. I hope everybody survives. A little fun situation. I forgot that when I had got my car, speaking of expenses, I decided to downgrade my vehicles because I am the epitome of somebody who values a good product. And when the product no longer appears to be good, I'm making a pivot. And I was in a Range Rover for 3 different vehicles, 3 different leases. Now that's almost 10 years of loyalty. And the cars got progressively worse and worse and worse. And I thought, man, I'm paying a premium and I'm being delivered a minimum. And so I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to downsize the way I drive and see if it changes me at all. See if maybe I've been fooled and sold an idea of something that isn't sustainable. So I got in a much more practical vehicle. And guess what? I'm happier for it. Made some space. But I had to go to the DMV. I had to go to the DMV and get all the paperwork switched, which ended up being such a joyful experience. I don't know how that happened, but the people at the DMV were so pleasant. The lady told me to have a nice day. I thought I died. I go, I'm dead. The lady at the DMV just told me to have a nice day. I definitely died. But I'm in there filling out paperwork, and not that I don't love dogs, but there was dogs at the DMV. And you know me, I don't like dogs where they don't belong. It's one of my favorite segments that we do, dogs where they don't belong. But then I thought the DMV is such a stressful place. I think we might need a little playpen of puppies at the DMV. I think we might need little playpens of puppies in places where it's stressful. The DMV, the post office, perhaps even a doctor's office. Just a little playpen of puppies to make it easier. But there was this little puppy on a leash while I was filling out my DMV paperwork. I'm stressing, thinking, oh God, this is not going to end up. I'm going to do it wrong. I'm going to get pulled over. They're going to impound my vehicle because, they make things difficult. Just like the street signs when you go to park your car, it's like no parking between 3 a.m. and 5 p.m. Street cleaning between 3:15 a.m. and 5:15 a.m. You can park between 6:22 p.m. and 7:14 a.m. the next week. They make it difficult so that you end up getting impounded. So I just was like, oh man, I'm going to fill out this paperwork incorrectly and they're going to take my sanctity away. They're going to take away my joy. Me figuring out how to not live such an expensive life. They're going to take away that freedom. Nope, ended up being fine. And the dogs in the DMV made me smile. And I was going to say something negative about it, but then I thought, you know what? No, we need dogs here. We need dogs at the DMV. We need dogs at the doctor's office. We need dogs at the dentist. Put a cat on my lap. I'm not even a big cat person. We need pets where it's stressful. Just not at Trader Joe's. God, that lady with the wolf. It was wild. The lady with the wolf was wild. Okay, let's discuss a little scam. This is a minor scam, but I always think I'm being scammed. I recently purchased a water, I don't know what you call it, kind of like a water flosser. TikTok got me. What do you want? TikTok got me. It gets the best of us. It's called Colesless. I'm probably saying it wrong. Costless. It's this little irrigator that you press a button and the water shoots between your teeth. I don't even know if it's doing anything. It's also, I'm basically waterboarding myself. I almost died 3 times trying to floss my teeth. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why do I need a device? But I filled out the warranty. I always fill out warranties. I'm a crazy person. I love coupons. I love warranties. And they don't plan on you filling it out. If there's a rebate, do the rebate. Because companies set up rebates just to get you to buy the thing. You see that there's a rebate, so you buy it and you never do the rebate. So companies end up making more money just off of telling you there's a rebate that you never actually cash in on. I cash in on all the rebates. I read the coupons. I cash in on the coupons. And I do all the warranties. So I did the warranty, and I felt a little scammed here. I felt a little scammed. I filled out the warranty, and it said a complimentary accessories redemption coupon or 30% off discount will be sent as soon as your thank you gift for the survey is completed within 5 minutes. We have a favor to ask you. Could you share your experience on Amazon? Consumers love your opinion, and it encourages us to keep it up, but you are free to say no. Even it is a gift, you can review it. Even it is a gift, you can review it. That sentence doesn't make sense. So basically, they're kind of gaslighting you to leave a good review. And also not giving you anything, they're making you spend money. You can get a 30% discount coupon. There's no discount. You're getting me to spend whatever the money is. And you're now making me feel bad. So it says, we have a favor to ask you. Could you share your experience on Amazon? There's 2 buttons to select that I could have clicked. The first one said, no, I don't want to help. Do you know how bad it feels to say that? And the next one says, sure, let's do it. Oh, it's easy. Let me just spend another 15 minutes of my life spending more money. And you're making me feel bad? No, I don't want to help. Well, now you're tapping in to my guilt. And I felt mad at it. So I took a screen grab and I said to myself, I'm going to put this right in the scam department of the podcast. I didn't do it. I didn't click anything. That's right. I just ghosted them. Completely ghosted them. And I felt better for it. Speaking of ghosts, we do have an overheard this week. Please send in your overheards. If you guys don't remember overheards or non sequitur sentences you hear, not necessarily in your own conversation, when you're walking by and you happen to hear someone say something not to you in their own conversation. It's fun. It's a fun game. Sometimes I get some good ones, but I heard this one when I was walking in, where was I? I was in Los Feliz over the weekend. I heard this guy say, very cute gaby, like a cute little twink. He was so adorable. I overheard him say, I used to be an assistant for the psychic, ... And I wanted to sit and listen to the rest of the sentence. And what? Used to be an assistant to the psychic, and what happened? What happened? Did they predict you got fired? Did you see some shady shit? Did they say something that scared the hell out of you? I wanted to know the rest of it, but you can't do any more digging. You have to let it live, let live. And that's that. Please send in your overheards. I used to be an assistant for the psychic. Psychics need assistance. I would think they would just know what needs to get done and figure it out on their own, but maybe they're able to anticipate more so they can handle that better. I think it's pretty impressive. I just want to know what psychic. Was it Teresa Caputo? Oh God, I love her show. We got some Maybay's mail. I got a mail from Rob McFadden, a fan of mine. He said, congratulations, just watch you win gold in the women's mountain bike cross country at the Olympics today. And I said, huh? Apparently I look like this woman who won the mountain biking cross country at the Olympics. Her name is Pauline Ferrand-Dubois. I can't really pronounce her name. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. I'm assuming French. Beautiful name. I guess, you know what? Her and I, we do look alike. We're both winners. Congratulations to her. Mountain biking in the Olympics. It's amazing. I can't believe that they brought breakdancing. That was a total failure, right? Mountain biking, you know, obviously you got to understand speed. I don't know. Some of these things are just ridiculous, but then the lengths that these athletes have to go to get to the Olympics is what is so impressive. But I have a bike. Could I do an Olympic level of biking? Absolutely not. I go off a curb and I have a shin splint. So I'm in by no way trying to downplay what she has accomplished, but it's just a bike. It's just a bike. Come on. Pole vault. Pole vaulting. It's every woman's new favorite event at the Olympics. I bet female viewership was up higher than it ever had been, much like that pole vault. Another Maybay mail comes from my sister. It's so cute. It's a photo of my niece and nephew in front of my photo at Syracuse in the mall at the Destiny USA, a.k.a. Carousel Mall. I'm going to be on tour. I'll be at the Funny Bone the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Don't forget to come see me live, jessimae.com/tour for tickets. But before we go, I want to get back to the question I asked at the beginning of the podcast that I asked everybody and tell you what happened. What was my most expensive lesson? So I asked people on Twitter and Threads what was the most expensive thing they ever purchased, because I just had to repurchase an expensive item because of something so dumb I did. But first, let's see what these people said. What's the most expensive thing you've ever purchased? Bread Foster. Oh, I bought like so many rabbits once. I said, how many rabbits? Outside, the Village Lantern guy was selling pet bunnies. I asked him how many he had and brought me to a bunny hoarder's apartment. I think I bought 46 rabbits that day. And this can't be true. I know bread. I know bread from back in the day. Someone said a painting. I said, by who? She said, Nina Channel Abney. I don't know who that is. It might be somebody famous. I have no idea. This other person said a house, closely followed by coffee and a small slice of cake at Betty's Tea Room in New York. Another person said kids. Another person said 3 children in a house. Chelsea Seelan said, I went to Soho and bought $15 socks. And I said, you know, standing alone, $15 ain't much, but for socks, it's kind of expensive. I feel like you should get like a 6-pack at the very least for $15. Perspective is everything. Someone said food. Haven't finished buying them yet. And that's so true. Food is so expensive, as we've already discussed. DJ Neurotoxin said, honestly, probably my typewriter. I asked if he wrote anything good. He said, good is subjective. Have I wrote anything? Nothing published yet, but I'm working on a work of fiction centered around the war in Ukraine, and I hope it goes well. Literally, I just started it now, actually. Hey, good luck on that book or whatever it is. I hope it goes well. I hope you sell it. Maximus Travis says my car. I would have said my house, but my wife bought it before we got married, so I kind of have no legal ownership of it. Sounds a little butthurt about that. She's just kind enough to let me live there. Oh, he's nice. He's back in. A first-class ticket to Greece that I never used. Oh, my God. How do you not use that? First-class travel is so amazing and so worth it. Go... You call the company, see if they still can do something. What happened? Were there extenuating circumstances? Ginger Snaps 32 says, my master's degree or my car, I can't remember. Gosh, education's so expensive. I probably should have asked if these were anything that people regretted. Loud Long said, my divorce. Ouch. A couple guys actually said their divorce. Someone said, Little Two-Door Diary said, my house and then a Disney day pass. I bet you probably bought the Disney day pass after you bought the house because you were so stressed out about the amount of money that you needed to have fun at Disney. There's so many answers. I can't get them all, but someone said I paid in full for a new car for my daughter. It was a Honda Civic. It's still going strong. Hondas last, man. They're built to last. Someone said a computer brand new, still using it 14 years ago. So basically, they're still using this computer, and that brings me to my most expensive lesson. Thank you for everybody who sent in their submissions. I do that once in a while on Twitter and Threads where I ask a question for the podcast just to get the conversation going. My most expensive lesson was to slow down. It's always been my lesson. It's always been something I need to work on. And it's something that when I do it, I actually am able to achieve more of what I want to achieve in a better way because I've created space. And what I did was I had my laptop on my kitchen table, which I never really do because I like to come out to my studio and work. I like to create a separation in my space, in my home and work. I like to have a separate space for both of those things. And I had my laptop on my kitchen table, and I also had a hot cup of fresh matcha tea that I made at home. And I went to pick up my matcha tea to move it stupidly across the top of my laptop. And it spilled. The entire cup spilled into the keyboard, and that was that. I didn't freak out. I flipped the keyboard upside down thinking that would solve it because I've spilled stuff on this before. Nothing really that bad, but I've had a couple things fall on it where I was like, ooh, that's not going to be good. And I assumed the matcha will work its way out. It'll work its way out. It'll be fine. Cut to a day or two later and the screen's fried. I could still kind of see, but I couldn't. There was a big bar in the middle of it, just an obstruction of my view, my work view. It's like sitting in a comedy club behind a pillar. and you just see the comedian's cheek on the side, and that's all you can see. So it was a completely obstructed view of my laptop, and I could have freaked out. But I decided to sit in that pain, and it was painful because I knew this is bad. Water damage is bad, and Apple makes it so that you have to buy new stuff all the time. There's no way to fix water damage. I feel like that's the cancer of our society. There's got to be some way. Somewhere somebody knows how to fix water damage. They're just not going to tell us. They make too much money off of that. So I decided to sit in that pain. I laughed, realizing my lesson is still the same, to slow down, realizing that it might be the most expensive moment where I've had to figure that out for myself. And it was pretty painful. And so I'm sitting here with my new laptop. Nothing's really different. The only thing that's different is my perspective, understanding myself and how fast I go through life. And that just slowing down a little bit could save me a lot of time, energy, and money. So maybe that's something you guys can incorporate into your life. Maybe you need to slow down. Maybe you need to speed up. Your lesson's different. Everyone's lessons are different in life. And I hope that this podcast brought you a little joy. I hope it gave you a break in whatever you're going through. And come see me live. Come check out a show. And thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to move the water away from this now, actually.